Is your doctor receiving drug money, payouts from drug companies to prescribe unsafe drugs? Guess what? There's a way to look it up. I'm going to go over this article very briefly, but it's not exactly the point of what I'm talking about in this, because there's a way to look up to see if your doctor is receiving payouts from drug companies to prescribe drugs that may not be so safe. But basically, I want to go over this article real quickly and display the link, and you can read it yourself. Doctors reap millions for anemia drugs. So they got Bernice Williams here, 90 years old, receiving a daily dose of and receiving daily dialysis treatment at Crescent Heights Dialysis Center operation in Los Angeles. And she also gets Epogen, a drug used to treat anemia. Now, two of the world's largest drug companies are paying hundreds of millions of dollars to doctors every year in return for giving their patients anemia medicines, which regulators now say may be unsafe at commonly used doses. Now, actually, if you really want to look up, there is way over 100,000 people that get killed by prescription meds every year. And, it's a pretty sad profession, because I don't know how people could even be in that profession and be a Christian at the same time, because basically it's a drug for profit profession, and quite often they do quite a lot of bit of damage to people long term. Prominent cancer and kidney doctors say the payments give physicians an incentive to prescribe the medicines at levels that might increase patients' risk of heart attacks or strokes. So they're getting paid to freaking push these drugs. So guess what happens? They want to push more of them, and they want to push them at higher doses. So it's dangerous in many cases. So in total, hundreds of millions of dollars a year are an important source of profit for these doctors. Now, how do you know if your doctor is one of these doctors? Here's a site. It's called Projects. It actually has your health professional receive drug company money. You can just type in the name, put in your state, hit search, and look them up. Maybe this database is going to be perfect, but it's going to at least be a tool. And in the future, supposedly this stuff is going to be published a hell of a lot more than it was in the past. So I think this was a very important public service announcement, actually, because you'll be surprised, maybe the people that you deal with are getting kickbacks from drug companies, and that information is going to become more and more public. You might be able to look it up right here, right now. But quite obviously, this has been going on for a number of years. And, we talk about accidental deaths, public safety, and all these different things that happen throughout the country. Well, nobody's looking at this pharmaceutical industry too closely, because there actually is a number of deaths occurring due to prescription drugs, even prescription drugs that are taken the correct way, because people are dying from this every year. And actually, the estimates vary, but pretty typically you'll get well over 100,000 people die of prescription drugs taken properly. So it is a major, major problem. And the reason they're being prescribed this is a lot of times there's a financial incentive, because the doctors is receiving money from the drug companies. So, and this goes for the pharmaceutical people too. So they're pushing this stuff, and it's dangerous. They're drug dealers, that's what they are. So find out if your health professional is actually getting some kickbacks from the drug companies, because this may be very important. It may be a matter of life and death.